Holy crap. 2.5 billion people around the world lack access to a clean toilet, killing 1.5 million children each year. At Sanergy, we're making hygienic sanitation accessible, affordable, and sustainable, starting with Africa's slums. In Kenya alone, 10 million people live in the densely packed slums, where they're paying for unhygienic and inaccessible options. But in these areas that also lack basic sewage infrastructure, we're taking an innovative systems-based approach to build out the entire sanitation value chain and effectively tackle the sanitation crisis. And we're doing this in 3 parts: build, collect, and convert. Throughout the slums, we're building out a dense network of high-quality, small-scale sanitation centers and putting them close to homes. We franchise these sanitation centers out to local entrepreneurs who run them as viable businesses. Then each day, Sanergy employees collect the waste from each center and bring it to a central location where we convert it into fertilizer and electricity. Sanergy generates a profit by selling the electricity to the grid at 8 cents per kilowatt hour and fertilizer to farms in Kenya at 50 cents per kilogram. We already have 2 pilots up and running in the slums of Nairobi for the past 6 months, serving 150 customers. And we're excited to move there full-time next month when we graduate from MIT. So we hope that as we scale up to 60 locations by the end of this year and serving 500,000 people across the slums of Kenya in the next 5 years, that you'll join us as we turn crap into gold.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tori. I'm from Project Yale, and you'll have to excuse me. The lights are a bit bright up here. But that's the point, is that everyone in this room has had access to electrification today. As was said earlier, 1.4 billion people around the world don't have access to electricity. But one of the strange things about this is around $6 billion have been put into the industry of rural electrification. And it just hasn't really shown to have the drastic rural economic development that people have been looking for. They also aren't really seeing the return on the capacity. So let's explain a little what's going on here. Rural electrification normally addresses the residential sector. What do you do with electricity in your house? You plug in a TV. You turn on the air conditioner. These aren't really income-generating purposes. So Project Yale has a solution. We're providing community bazaars which address the productive sector. By addressing the productive sector, you ensure that electricity is used throughout the day to maximize the capacity of rural electrification projects. Also, in providing the community bazaar, we are the basis of the community. We're giving them tools to create for themselves sustainable rural economic development, as well as create business. Also, we're making sure that all of this money and these great people like Husk Powers, who are putting money into rural electrification, are really getting the benefit from their money and from their efforts. And lastly, we are aiming to spark rural electrification as well as rural economic development. Thank you, and vote for Project Yale.
Shahana, an 11-year-old girl, used drags to manage her menstrual blood. One day after school, she came back home, changed her soaked drag, washed and dried it under a bean tree for reuse. A harmful insect settled on the rag. Without noticing it, she used the same rag the next day. Unfortunately, the insect entered her body through the vagina. She felt a serious stomach ache and was taken to the hospital. A week later, she died. Inside 1,100 slums of Delhi exist 1 million Shahanas. Such dismal conditions led to the inception of Sanitation Solutions in 2009. The thought behind Sanitation Solutions is ensuring the use of hygienic sanitary napkins by slum women across Delhi and providing them with a sustained means of livelihood and a better standard of living at the same time. Our basic business model entails procurement from manufacturers directly by our women entrepreneurs, who in turn sell these napkins to slum women across Delhi and earn a profit. Shahana's friends and family did have advice to give her. Unfortunately, it lacked the power to save her life. What would have happened had a friend of Shahana's introduced her to affordable sanitary napkins provided by the community seller? We all can only guess. Let's not stay silent and watch 500,000 females in slums across Delhi fall prey to cervical cancer. We have a solution. We call it Sanitation Solutions. Thank you.
Good evening. Takataka means waste in Kiswahili. Takataka Solutions is a social enterprise based in Kenya that will provide affordable and environmentally friendly waste management services. Why is this necessary? Globally, more than 2 billion people don't have access to waste management services. In Nairobi, that's 2.5 million out of 3.5 million people. So what does that mean? They throw waste next to the house, it is burned or thrown into river, which causes severe health and environmental problem. What will Takataka Solutions change about that? It will provide two innovations. First, it will recycle up to 80% of the waste, leaving only 20% for disposal. And secondly, we have developed a new business model for lower income areas, where Takataka Solution will partner with local youth groups for waste collections. The local youth groups will collect the waste. At the moment, these groups collect the waste, but they don't have a market for the waste, so they need to pay for its disposal, making the business model unsustainable. Now, Takataka Solutions will set up decentralized waste buying centers, buying up to 80% from the youth groups, which means that they get money for 80% of the waste and save 80% of the disposal costs. Because of this, they now have a sustainable business model. They can provide affordable waste management services to the local community at only $1 per household per month. And moreover, their income goes up by 4 times, from $25 to $100 per waste collector per month. Through this new business model, Takataka Solutions, in partnership with local youth groups, will become a global pioneer in providing affordable and environmentally waste management services to all income areas. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and hello, Mom and Dad. I hope your internet connection allows you to watch this. About 9 years ago, while I was getting ready to come to college, my dad came into my room and said, you should go and study agriculture and economics at Purdue, become a food security expert like me, unlike your older brothers that decided to study computer science and other majors. It was in 2008 that I finally realized Dad was right, and this is like my public apology for doubting your wisdom. In the midst of the global food crisis, in 2008, we saw the price of rice skyrocket. It tripled. We saw riots in West Indies to India. What was the solution? What was the problem? The problem was a lack of production in countries like Mali. Mali has the potential to feed not just itself, but all of West Africa. But due to inadequate processing and storage facilities, we can't even feed ourselves. So my brother, the entrepreneur, I'm the political scientist, decided to write a business plan to focus on minimizing wastage and boosting the quality of rice. In addition, realize that white rice is not nutritious. Brown rice is, but a lot of people don't like the taste of brown rice. And we found this amazing technology to maintain the smell, the taste, the look, the texture of rice while adding vital micronutrients. In Mali, every 10 minutes, where we're from, a child dies from malnutrition. We have aunts who perish in labor because they're anemic. We have nieces that never celebrate the first birthday because they lacked vital nutrients. We have cousins who survived, but will never meet the full physical or cognitive potential because in the first 1,000 days of their lives, they didn't have these vital minerals. Model traders, that's our mission. We want to make the notion of a hungry farmer an oxymoron and use rice and agriculture as an engine for development, not just for Africa, but for the world. The UN just said we got 10.1 billion people, not 9. We need to find a way to feed them all, and Africa has to be part of the solution. Thank you.
Thank you. How about another big round of applause for all our finalists? Thank you.